We are live. Welcome to the RedBlue Pod number 7. I think that's the number we are at. Today we have several topics. The first one will be Bullet Train. The second one will be Superman and Lois Season 2. And the last one will be The Lighthouse. And it's very possible we may have other guests around if they decide to show up in the discussion. So now you can present yourself, co host.
Yeah, as usual, Cole, I'm say call me a co-host now.
Yeah, that's your position now, co-host. You like it?
Pretty good, yeah.
That's good. So,
Yeah,
Bullet
well,
Train.
maybe MSK and Warren will join at some point, but anyway, yeah, Bullet Train. What do you think about it?
I liked it for real. I liked
Mm,
it a lot. There are issues. I'm not blind. Even when I like stuff, I'm able to find issues. I liked it a lot. I went twice, man. When I go twice to see a movie,
mm.
that means I liked it a lot. Now,
Yeah, I mean, did you see the one that came out before it? Actually, never mind. I don't know why.
which one
It
before?
was it's a Japanese film, so you probably didn't because it's
No.
subtitles. But yeah, there was an original. It came out in like around 1975, and I did like it more than this one, but I enjoyed both of them. And it was also based off of a book, I believe. But yeah, I mean, definitely have issues with it for sure. I wouldn't say this is a great film or even a very good one, possibly. Like, I don't know. I'm still, I like to sit with things for a bit, so I'm not like overhyping them or like underrating them. So I'm still not fully sure where I stand completely on this. But I mean, I did definitely enjoy it a lot for what it was, and like this is just like again, I usually like into like art house films and a lot of stuff like that. But I mean, I'm fine with a popcorn flick as long as it's entertaining and creative enough. And yeah, this wasn't great by any means, but it did its job as a popcorn flick. If Hollywood just made more films like this, then yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean this movie. I think I will start off with like my few issues here and there as usual. I think my biggest issue is plot armor is at 2,100%, if you know what I mean. Like, people
Hmm.
don't die except when the plot wants them to die, and there are so many times I'm like, that guy died 3 times, or that yo
Yeah,
died twice, but they just don't die because the plot want them alive and stuff.
yeah, and it definitely like the structure of it. I mean, it was hard to like structure it and like with the pacing and everything and with this many cast members, but I and it didn't do a bad job considering that, but I just feel like there are a lot of moments where it was just kind of weird how they just like kill off a character after introducing it, and then another character is just honestly overstays their welcome way too long. I feel
Yeah.
like they could have leveled that out a bit more. Like Bad Bunny's character, I think they could have definitely I don't know, done something more of him, but whatever. It's not like he's a bad actor by any means, but whatever.
You know what's funny? When I was watching the trailer, I was like, that movie will be boring if it's 2 hour in the train. But in the movie, they actually found creative way to not make it boring, and the train, each wagon feel different, and we also have flashbacks splashed into it, so you don't get
Yeah,
bored. You just don't get bored, and that's
yeah, they
kind of
did do
cool.
like something different in each station. I agree. For me personally, though, I think it was a bit of the other way around. Though, like they did try to do different things, but I feel like it could have been better. Though I feel like it did kind of like felt mostly the same. Like it could have been a bit more different. They kind of dropped the ball there. Outside of like certain things. Like there were some like set design or whatever you call it again. That oh they didn't really like put too much effort in. They mainly just had one small thing and kind of used that the whole time to try to carry each scene in it, which. I think it's mainly they should have tried like a Snowpiercer type style, in my opinion. But I think it was mainly the cast members that really carried each scene because even when the writing wasn't very good, a lot of cheesy lines and stuff, and there wasn't much like to work with the actor. Because of a cast like that, they still delivered. Like even Brad Pitt, I think Brad Pitt is not really an action star, and he was kind of miscast in this role, just like Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Don't Look Up with his awful character. But he still made it work because he's just that type of actor, and that's the same with the rest of the cast, really. So I would say that's mainly what did it.
That's funny. Now, I had no issue with any of the actors. I actually enjoyed pretty much everyone,
Oh, I
and
have an issue with one actor in
and
particular.
I think the way they made the main character Ladybug, it was interesting because he killed people by accident, and he
Hmm.
is so messed up and funny at the same time. And it's the only movie where you laugh when people die because that's the tone of the movie, and it's executed that way. It's written that way. So I think that's creative enough, because sometimes you're not supposed to laugh when people die. You're supposed to mourn them and kind of cry about it if the job is done properly. But this movie, you're supposed to laugh like from start to end, and that's the thing with that movie. Now another issue I had, plot convenience. We had so many plot convenience. What if the ladybug never went at the first wagon when the white guy came in? So what if he never
Yeah,
went there? They would never have fought.
probably not. No.
Another plot convenience. What if the black guy at the end? I think it was Lemon. Lemon.
Oh yeah.
Lemon. What if
The
Lemon never found that truck on the road? Everyone would have died.
Yeah, and yeah,
What
it was lemon, but
what if there was no phone call as Tangerine and Ladybug were fighting? What if there was never a phone call? Ladybug would have died. Or what if the phone call happened
hmm.
after the fight? He would have died.
Yeah, true.
That kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of plot convenience, a lot of plot armor, but for me, these are really the biggest issues because as I said, I enjoyed the movie as a whole. Like, it's not a masterpiece because of plot convenience all over the place, plot
Yeah, and
armor all
there's
over the
a lot of
place.
issues.
Like the train going boom at the end. Everyone would have died in the crash, man.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, without Brad Pitt, that was just holy shit. But again, there seems like be a new trend now with action films and this comedy style that and directors like him have been doing that I haven't been like a huge fan of that kind of take like some lazy ways out, and they make the excuse of it being a comedy that I just and with some generic moments that I just yeah I'm not really a fan of, and I wish it would kind of stop, but whatever. But yeah, I mean the one actor though I had a main issue with is okay, so like I didn't mind the character at all. I liked the character. I know what they were doing with it. I liked it. It was cool, even if it was a bit cliche. But all of them have some cliches. Honestly, her filmography isn't great, so I'm like, oh, but she's like 22 or something, so I'm like, okay, listen, it's just mainly in like a bunch of teen garbage. I'll give her another chance in this. But yeah, she failed. Joey King, I believe her name is. Just I'm sorry, you need a better actor in that role. If who's gonna have that many scenes? Like she just had like the same emotion on her face the whole time with like
True.
any line she was delivering. At any moment, we're supposed to just. It was not effective in my opinion at all. It
I
was just
actually agree with you. Like, when she was crying, that was like, okay.
that was bad.
Yeah, I was like, It's fake
And again,
tears
because
for
Joey King's
sure.
just she's just a bad actress, and she hasn't been in anything at all good yet. She's been in just the trash, like Kissing Booth and shit. But I was willing to give her a chance, though, because again, hasn't really proven herself yet or been given like a real role yet. But this is just nope, still hasn't yet. This was
But
definitely cast
I
somebody
I
else.
still enjoyed like the way she was written, even if the actress didn't really deliver. I still enjoyed the
Yeah,
character
yeah, the
because of the
character was
writing.
still good, but it's just she dragged it down. But the character was one of the better characters in the film. But
Yeah. Now I said all issues I really had. So what I like the most, the music, man. The music is golden. I think they chose the music really amazing. What do you think about the music in the movie?
uh, yeah, I didn't love the music, but yeah, I did like it. It was probably one of the better aspects of the film, honestly. Like I was watching the trailer again, and again, I was 50-50 on the trailer. I was like, okay, maybe this will be an entertaining popcorn flick, but at the same time, it's by Sony and that director, so it might just be bad. Even though he did Deadpool 2, which was good, I guess. But yeah, but the one thing in the trailer was the music. I was just like, oh, the music's gonna be just terrible and cheesy and just like a SoundCloud list, isn't it? But nope, it was actually ended up being pretty good. I actually liked it. Honestly, especially the one in the finale, really liked it. So yeah, I would have to agree with you there.
I think one made me watch the Batman 6 times, 5 times in theater, and 1 time at home. It's the score, the music, man. So
The score was great in the Batman. The problem was I think they just overused the same song. They should have recorded more for it. By
yeah,
the end of it, I was pretty tired of it. It's sort of like the score in Nomadland. They just played the same fucking like 5 notes the whole film.
but yeah, music matter for me in a movie and in a TV show as well if it's well used. I mean, like we remember that kind of stuff because it
Yeah.
resonates with our ears, our brain. It's
Yeah,
important.
I do like a film that doesn't like use it in some scenes that doesn't need it. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if have you seen The Sixth Sense, for example.
I've heard about it, but I don't recall
Okay,
seeing it.
well, okay, well then I won't say that, but just for just like any like if there's like in a dramatic moment with like characters or just something like that or something sad happens, what a shitty director in a shitty film will do is just ruin the moment by playing like just
Flashing music.
sappy music over it instead of just like leaving it be.
I think in
So it's,
Peacemaker, I don't know if you have seen Peacemaker.
yeah, I did not really like how it was used there, but
Yeah, sometimes the music is like, oh man, why there? Like, what's the
yeah, again,
point?
some of the jokes and some of the music really ruined some scenes in that. But yeah, so I do like when they don't overuse it as well. But it does when it needs it, and yeah, the music's good. Then yeah, it really carries it, and it's a very important thing for me as well. Now there are some films that don't necessarily need it that much. They just like for it to be that great or unique. It just mainly to set the tone in some scenes that end up working. But that's a very rare example. Like I would say, only recent times in my memory that they played music that wasn't that well made, but mainly just as a tone thing that worked and not overdone. Ruined scenes was probably like that Everything Everywhere All at Once film that came out, and then which they kind of had to since they had to jump between so many different musics at so many times, which because of the different tones throughout. But that and probably First Reformed. I don't know if you saw that ever, but yeah, that's
Nope.
about it. So yeah, music is pretty important though for the
It's
most part.
essential.
So
It's
yeah,
essential.
yeah, a
Some
huge
movie,
thing.
some movie are just liking the music to leave an impact in you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like honestly, I don't know if you saw the new Candyman. Did you?
nope. You see, I don't
Ah,
watch
well.
that many movie. That's the thing. I used to watch a lot of movie when I was younger, but these are like 2000-ish movies, and
Mm-hmm.
even there, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
that
mean, did you watch
cultivated.
the original Candyman?
Nope.
Ah,
I,
well,
I
I mean, well,
I watch
all
a
I'll
lot
say
of
is that
bad movie. Like I've watched Shooter, Jumper, all the bad movies as well. I mean, I wasn't like into, like, I didn't know really quality movie. I was just watching what my father used to watch at that time.
Hmm.
Wanted, and like
Yeah.
old movies.
Oh,
Well,
oh yeah.
old. They're not that
And
old, but as of 2022, they start getting old.
yeah, definitely. But all I'll say is about the new Candyman was decent. Definitely not very good at all. Had its issues. It was average, I would say. It was mainly like the camera work and stuff that was pretty good. But the main thing that really carried that film from being honestly all right, despite having a lot of issues, the new Candyman, and yeah, with all of its issues, and that has stuck in my mind was the score, and that the score was excellent. Honestly, could have gotten an Oscar nom just for that. So yeah, a score can carry a film, even a bad film. Like it's definitely a huge thing. I don't understand why people kind of put aside the score a lot of the time in films. Like a lot of people, I really don't understand that. Or like editing. Like editing's another huge thing, and editing can just ruin a whole film. Like we saw with that like shitty The Snowman horror film or thriller, or what's that, Six Underground by Michael Bay. That just, there was like a cut every millisecond. It just blinded me. Can ruin a whole fucking film. So yeah, I don't.
Michael Bay
Yeah,
and his cuts.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, just I don't understand why people sometimes put aside those things like that, like they're not essential. Like everything's essential almost. I don't really get it. Like honestly, I would say the least essential thing sometimes is sometimes the cast. It wasn't the case in this one, but honestly, actors sometimes are the least essential part of films because as much as they're great a lot of time and they do sometimes feel like they carry a film. Honestly, there's a lot of people in the world that could pull off those performances just the same, which is a bit of practice. It's really not that hard to be that a decent actor. Like honestly, if you gave me like a week to prepare for one of the roles in that film, I'd probably pull it off all right. Like it's not that hard. Like honestly, it's mainly the writing and everything that really is the more essential part of films. It's mainly just like name brands for when it comes to cast members.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like some movies rely on that because they are like, oh, that's a well-known actor. That movie will do well. That's what they expected from one of the recent movie where Robert Downey Jr. was in. I forgot. I think it was
Uh,
Dolittle or something,
yeah,
and
Dolittle.
it
I was
bombed or
thinking that.
something.
Yeah,
Oh, I had a good laugh. I was like, it's not because you hire star power that you will sell ticket in 2022. Like, it may be true in the past, but I don't think in 2020, 2022, I don't think it matters anymore. But that's just me.
yeah. I mean, again, not always the case, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. But I mean, in this case, so the cast did carry it, in my opinion. But yeah, I still think Brad Pitt was honestly miscast as much as he, again, is still a great actor and a movie star, so he still pulled it off. And even if what we're seeing isn't that well done, like he makes it believable that what we're seeing is super entertaining. That's kind of the case with the whole cast member, all the cast members, I'd say for the most part, besides Joey Kane. But I mean, yeah. So the director of this and his camera work in this, I would say was okay. I would say that was also kind of a weak point, though. I think the directing could have been better outside of some shots. It was kind of
I do-
kind of safe. Best way I would put it. Now
yeah,
he did do Deadpool 2, and there were a lot of issues with Deadpool 2, but overall, I would say it was still a good film. Overall, like, and I think people forget that the first Deadpool had some issues as well. So I'd say
yeah,
both had some issues, but good film overall. He wasn't really the main reason for it being good though, honestly. And then
yeah.
he did Fast and Furious says Hobbs and Shaw, which was pretty terrible, and then he did Atomic Blonde, which was below average. It could have been good.
I liked
Honestly, the
Atomic
worst
Blonde. I liked that movie.
You liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Honestly, again, I like the idea of it. I think it could have been really good. It's just for me, the action was pretty poor in my opinion, and Charlize Theron is just not an action. So she did a poor job in my opinion. Like all of her action work was pretty poor, and her accent was terrible.
That's funny because I'm the reverse on that. I think they made
Really?
fight scene believable. It's a female. She's not supposed to flip people around. She doesn't have the muscle. She is a 100-pound girl, so
Oh
she
no,
can
no, I
do and
understand
stuff,
that
you know.
multi-topic. I'm
So
not talking about like the how they wrote the action choreography. I'm just talking about how it was executed. Though I think it was really like a lot of there were a lot of moments I can notice that were like she was getting sloppy with it, in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
and I don't. Again, maybe if that was intentional, like by to make it a bit believable, then sure, like I can like they do that in like the John Wick films and stuff sometimes, but it didn't seem like that was intentional, in my opinion.
yeah. I enjoyed the movie. Like it's not a masterpiece. I'm with you on that,
I
but
still enjoyed it.
I
I really wish it was better, in my opinion. But
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, and her accent wasn't that bad. But here again, I'm not American. I don't speak English as first language, so I don't know about accent. You know, sometimes I know about accent. Sometimes the Lighthouse was rough on me. I'm telling you, but we are not there yet. But that was a rough one. um, yeah, I think Atomic Blonde was kind of good. But anyway, to go back on Bullet Train, speaking about fight choreography, what did you think about the fight choreography?
uh, I don't think it was. Oh, just like an Atomic Blonde, I don't think it was too great. I think it was a lot of basic action set pieces that they didn't take full advantage of as they could have in the train. Like it like a shiny set and actors' charisma carried it, but the actual action set pieces, when you think about it, were and as we saw in the trailer, were pretty basic, and their action choreography was not bad at all. It was all right, but nothing special. It was pretty basic. Like if you think about like the Bad Bunny fight, I'm trying to remember the full cast. Even the fight with Michael Shannon, honestly, outside of like some cool things he did, a great supporting actor though. I definitely recommend like his performance in The Shape of Water and stuff. He's really intimidating and was in this, but his action moves in this really weren't too great. And with God, I would say Zazie Beetz as well was kind of disappointing. Again, charisma carried it there as well. Both two great actors, but just not action wise. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of. I would say mainly the best fight was with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Despite some basic action set pieces, his fight with Brad Pitt was definitely like the best. It did last the longest, but it was the most like the best like fight. Easily the best fight that I saw in the film with like what they did. You know, it seems like their chemistry was a lot better than the others. It honestly it feels like Bad Bunny and the two that killed off quickly, Bad Bunny and Zazie Beetz, were only on set for like a day and quickly just filmed their parts and then left. Didn't really practice enough with the action choreography, which is also, I mean, why you should spend time on each character in it to not like But whatever. I mean, that's my opinion on it. I thought it was all right. Again, the cast carried most of it. I feel like you're gonna be honestly the opposite though, since you really liked it in Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I liked pretty much all fights. I think they were creative and original, and they made sense at some extent. There's only one fight that bothered me, the one with the Hornet, because
Yeah, the one with
she
Zazie Beats, right?
she is a
Hmm.
girl and she is able to compete with a man. She almost overpowered him. She flipped him. I was like, okay, these people never went into any fight like for real because it's really hard to flip someone. I know he's not 200 pounds. I know it.
But you have to understand, like the training she had, her experience, like, and they showed off with the character with her background. and she also also surprised him, and again he wasn't trying to like kill her or kill anyone, so and
Yeah,
so he wasn't trying to like overpower anyone, so I mean I
yeah.
think in that case it works.
Yeah, I can see that defense, but even there, her flipping him, I was like, I know it's some self defense moves, but he's still heavier than her, and that should not be that easy. Like that was in the middle of the fight, so she used energy. Like I mean, your body when it goes into a fight, you're pulling your energy. You know, you're burning calories, and that's in the middle of the fight. She still has the strength to like just flip someone like that. It's like okay, I will suspend disbelief here. But here
I
again,
mean
that's just me, and that
uh
I must admit
yeah,
it
I
was
mean I
still
wasn't a
funny.
huge fan of the fight.
How she
Oh no, it was funny. Again, the fight, in my opinion, it was just like the Bad Bunny fight. I just feel like they didn't spend enough time on the action choreography in those two fights to make it that interesting.
the fight on the quiet train was funny. I liked it a lot. I think
uh,
that's my favorite one. Either it's the quiet train or the one with the guy in white. One of the two. And the guy in white, it's only because of the ending. The ending, man. I was dead.
you mean oh wait, which one are you talking
The
about?
guy
Bad
in
Bunny
white,
or
the at the start of the movie, like
so with Bad Bunny, you mean?
he is breaking his neck and he's like stabbing his
You
own
mean the one
art.
where like the knife deflects off of the suitcase?
That was that. Here you need to suspend disbelief, but man, the payoff was great.
Yeah, on the fucking GoPro.
That yeah, I think the writing was kind of cool, even if it's not like the genius movie, even if it's not like the best thing ever. I think they done the job they wanted to do, and I enjoyed it. Lemon, man, lemon. I think Lemon is my favorite character in the movie.
I think so.
Like at start, he come across as a really stupid character, but at the end, he's the smartest one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say is definitely one of my favorites. Now he isn't like a great actor, but with the writing and his character and the cast around him really elevated him.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to
true.
remember what was he in again.
I
All right,
don't know.
yeah, he was. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remember what his filmography was. He was in. He was the one guy in Eternals, and I would say he was probably like the best part of Eternals. Unless
Oh,
I'm thinking of someone else.
I see.
Yeah, he was that guy in Eternals, Fastos. Yeah, that terrible, awful Eternals film, but he was honestly one of the better characters in it. So yeah, but
That's kind of sad when you're known as the best character of Eternals when you know all bad
yeah,
Eternal is.
like honestly, a lot of people bitch about like the wokeness in that film. Honestly, like the quote unquote woke aspects of that garbage Eternals film was honestly the best part of it because like Makari and Fastos were probably the best characters in it.
That's funny because I haven't seen it and I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Oh, you're not, but I mean, if you're having trouble with like insomnia, then it's definitely a good cure.
Oh, really? Okay, next time I have insomnia, I will watch it. I will fall asleep in it, I
Yeah,
guess.
but you're right to sleep.
That's so sad what Marvel has become for real. It's like, yo, what? And then some people are blinded and they cannot admit there's a decline.
hmm I mean, honestly though, they're kind of there is definitely a decline in this phase, and I'm not excited for the future films, but
I don't
really,
care
but
about Phase 5 and 6.
yeah, but I'll be honest though, it's not like this hasn't kind of always been the case to an extent. Like there were definitely like better and great films in like phase 2, phase 1, 2, and 3 and stuff, but for the most part, a lot of their films were kind of like a below average or just average with a lot of similar flaws like this. It's kind of always it's just like people at the start they didn't give them free passes with like the first MCU films like Thor and the first Avenger until then after the first Avengers film. So then they gave Captain America, the first Avengers, Thor, etc. more free passes over the years and kind of grew on them more. But then after that, they again gave free passes to a lot of films, like especially fucking Far From Home and others, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So yeah, so I say there's still definitely a decline, and Kevin Feige has gone like lazy and just like used to doing the same stuff instead of trying to elevate it or change it up a bit, which is why Love and Thunder turned out so terrible as well. But I mean, I don't think it's that much of one, honestly. I think it's just people now that Endgame is over and stuff and No Way Home, people are now just
If
realizing more.
if
Like
we had
it kind
great
of always
movies
been like
after
this.
Endgame, if we had great movies after Endgame, trust me, people would be excited to see more. But that's the thing.
Hmm.
After Endgame, there's nothing really impressive out. I mean, what was the best thing they made? Miss Marvel and it's mediocre. Maybe Moon Knight because Moon Knight is slightly better. But that's the
Yeah.
way I see it. That these are the two best thing about Phase 4, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, now I will say I definitely wouldn't recommend spending extra money for that Screen X thing. It's really not worth it. It doesn't, just the side screen stuff doesn't show anything essential at all. It's literally just like bit blurry, just pointless, I don't know, stuff. It's not that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that Screen X thing, and honestly, sometimes it's lag and the walls on the in the theater for that auditorium aren't the best, but I had a free ticket for it, and I thought I wasn't. I knew this film wasn't going to be great, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch it in Screen X just to try it out to see, if they improved on it. And I will say, I mean, if there's a film you wanted to get for Screen X to try it out, then I mean, Bullet Train isn't a terrible option because they actually kind of tried with it to an extent. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't try to get anything in 3D. Honestly, 3D is just trash with
I know.
everything nowadays.
I know.
The reason why is because they don't make them for 3. They literally just slap it on. Like that, you cannot tell the difference at all because they do nothing for the 3D stuff. Basically, like 99% of the films now, they just
That's
slap it
kind
on
of
for extra
sad.
money. Yeah, they get money out of suckers. Like they do nothing for it. Like in the early stages, like with stuff like Avatar, Harry Potter, Order of the Phoenix, and the climax, Journey to the Center of the Earth, even like they made it specifically for 3D
Yeah.
as well, for like 50, yeah, for big size, not specifically for it, but it was a big selling point. So they made it effective, but they don't try to make it effective anymore. Where it actually feels 3D, they just slap it on, so it's shit nowadays, honestly. But
So,
yeah,
what would be the grade you would give to Bullet Train?
I would give it a 5 out of 10, and that might seem low, but again, with my ratings, five out a 5 out of 10 is means it's I think it's solid, all right, average, like very, and it just depends on like sometimes a 5 out of 10 means I didn't enjoy it, but I thought it was well made enough. It was passable, but I'm not a fan of it. Another 5 out of 10 means like I don't think it was that well done. It was and a bit sloppy in areas or uncreative, but I really enjoyed it still. But as a nice popcorn flick, and yeah, that's what I would say with Bullet Train. So, but like, again, anything honestly, even a 4 out of 10, even though that's like a failing grade for me slightly, I'm still and below average. I'm still fine. 4 out of 10's watchable and decent. It's mainly 3 out of 10s and below that are bad with my rating system. So a 5 out of 10, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, very enjoyable popcorn flick. Go watch it. I didn't love it or anything as others or multi-topic, but I mean, you might. There is definitely like a lot of people have said there's a bit of like a Tarantino feel to it, and at points, kind of sure, but other points, I don't know. I didn't really get that out of it, but whatever. I will say, what did you think of Ryan Reynolds and
Only
her
one scene,
cameo?
the cameo, I was like,
Yeah, and Shannon Tatum's cameo.
Shining Datums, I know him
He's
by
just
name,
like,
but
can
I
I
didn't
suck your
recognize
dick?
him. But Ryan Reynolds, I was like, really? You paid him just for that scene? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Because it's the Deadpool 2 director, and so this is like, hey, you wanna just film this one scene for me as a cameo? Oh, sure. That's
Yeah.
basically what happened,
I
probably.
didn't really care about that scene. I felt like that scene was pointless and you can take it out and that's fine.
Yeah, it was literally just for like, this is Ryan Reynolds, and to make a joke out of it. Like, yeah, he's an asshole, because the joke with the director and Ryan Reynolds, because they
Yeah.
worked with each other on Deadpool 2. But yeah, I mean, Shannon Tatum was the guy just like, yo, can I suck your dick? Yeah, that guy. I mean, Shannon Tatum's actually a good actor, though. It's just I don't know what is the deal with him. He needs to like fire his agent or something. His agent just keeps casting him in like these cameos or in shitty roles and shitty comedies, and I don't get it because he's actually a good actor. Same thing with Zac Efron. Honestly, he's a good actor as well. With just cast in the right role.
Or
They need to
Henry
like fire.
Cavill.
Yeah,
Always
him too.
getting the
They really.
rest.
Yeah, I didn't like Henry Cavill. I mean, yeah, he's solid too. Not, I don't like him as much, but yeah, again, they all just need to fire their fucking agents. Like, this was the same uh, sorry, what is it called? Yeah, rep. Sorry, I had a moment there. Yeah,
I
they
don't
have
know
like
the
the same.
names,
They have
man.
the same reputation that Robert Pattinson did. After Twilight and everything. But unlike unlike them, he hired a good agent and did a bunch of stuff, did a bunch of quality films, and with like legend directors like David Cronenberg, and then that's how he got to this point. Like just Henry Cavill, Zac Efron, and Dannon Tatum just need to do that. I mean, it seems like Zac Efron is kind of doing that now, so that's good. But the other two fuck fiery agents, holy shit!
I gave 9 out of 10 to Bullet Train.
And you really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Man,
Damn.
I like these movies, man. Sometimes they are
Yeah,
lazy, but this one, man, I just liked it.
yeah. I say out of all the popcorn flicks in theaters this year, and this is definitely one of the better ones to go watch. Definitely recommend it. Even if I don't think it's great, but you might, like multi-topic and it's easily Sony's best film this year. The rest are fucking trash.
Yeah, don't trust Sony with movie. Just don't.
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely tell they didn't have like barely any creative control with this one. Is that was my biggest scare. I'm just like, okay, this is looks like it can be entertaining, and even though it's a remake of a Japanese film, but then I fucking saw the Sony thing. I'm like, oh shit, fuck me. Uh, eh,
Maybe it's been
yeah,
tainted because of Sony's stamp.
yeah. I honestly was thinking of just not seeing this in theaters because I just don't like supporting Sony. I hate support. I'll support. No, support fucking Tencent and Disney any day over Sony. But whatever. Yeah, I mean, they kind of funny though. Bad Bunny is in this and another Sony film because the idea is gonna do that or one for them. One Mexican villain character in that shitty Spider-Man villain universe. So yeah. God, I can't believe that's actually a thing. So that I will literally take the Dark Universe over that. The shitty thing they were planning with the monster films that started with the shitty Mummy film with Tom Cruise. Now, again, I like all those monster films, and I would love to remake all of them. But that was a shit idea. But honestly, it's better than fucking whatever they're doing here. But anyway, is there anything else you want to say about Bullet Train?
That last samurai fight where they caught Banks and stuff in the wagon, like white. I think White Demon or White Head or I forgot his name.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was White Dragon, I believe.
yeah. Um, That was a nice fight. The two old men basically fighting each other
Sorry,
was kind of cool.
White Death. Yeah.
Yeah, White Death. That was a cool fight. That's all I will say.
Hmm.
So, next one. Superman and Lois second season. You had the time to finish it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also one like just how they made a whole thing just for that Fiji waterfall, the highlight reel in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So Superman and Lois. Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, I would say I liked it. Honestly, God, I'm honestly don't know at the moment if I like it more than the first or second, but it's honestly hard. They're both really good,
Yeah. That's
but
good.
but I would say that this did improve on things I had flaws with the first season. Like again, that one character I didn't like too much of, and I was hoping they would improve. They did. One supporting character, as I talked about, so
Which
that was really
character
nice.
they improved for you?
Oh, what's her name again? It
One of the
was
Cushing or
Natalie
Natalie?
Irons.
Oh,
Yeah.
John Henry Irons. Yeah, John Henry Irons. What did you think about him?
Yeah, I really liked.
Man, he's willing to break his freaking end to save Superman.
Mm-hmm. Like, damn. God. Ah, man. What did you think about that Arrowverse thing at the?
I will be honest. I was kind of pissed because they wanted to sell this as part of the Arrowverse because they kept the same actor, and in season one they also mentioned Oliver Queen and John Diggle
Mm-hmm.
working with Oliver Queen. So I think what happened, they inserted that line in season two because they canceled two shows and they were like, maybe we can try to launch a new universe and stuff. So they changed what they were the first intent, and that bothers me a lot because I was invested with that Superman because I was like, it's the same Superman as the one I met in Elseworld, one of the crossover they had. But now they say, oh no, it's not the same. So in my mind, it's like, you tricked us, liar. But to be honest, if they want to launch a new universe, I hope they do it well. That's all I'm asking. And I'm also asking something else, like,
Well,
well,
wait. So you're saying that you're sane, unlike the Snyderverse fans?
what do you
Damn.
mean?
Because you say if they're starting a universe, I just hope it does well. And the opposite of those Zack Snyder fans who are just like, oh, they're starting a new universe. Fuck this shit.
I want a new universe. I mean, it's fine if they started one, but all I want is a good one. I'm really sad. Like I really wanted this to be part of the Arrowverse, but
Hmm.
hey, what can I do? I'm not the writer.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so what were you leading to again? What were you about to say?
I actually forgot,
Ah,
but
fuck.
um, yeah, it's disappointing because I feel betrayed because they sold us the same Superman and they pretend for almost 2 years that it's the same, and at the end they just said, oh yeah, we changed it, he's no more your Superman.
It's like an Agents of Shield thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Speaking about Agents of Shield, I'm now into season 3 and I feel a decline already.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, I mean,
It's
what did you
kind of
think of
sad.
what do you think Diggle's cameo? What do you think about that?
That's the most backstab ish we can get because he had the same freaking outfit as the one we had in The Flash the day before.
Mhm.
Same actor, same outfit.
Yep.
So
And
I'm
then
like, are you shitting me? You really mocked the Arrowverse. Without the Arrowverse, we would never have that Tyler Hoechlin Superman. So, what's the point? I mean, It bothers me a lot because they tricked us. But anyway, as I said, what can I do? I'm just some guy doing review stuff. I'm not the writer. And as
Hmm.
I
I
said,
mean,
I just want that new universe they will maybe try to launch to be good. If it's good, I will be
hopefully.
happy with it.
Yeah. So now the next thing I wanted to bring up is interesting thing I realized. The only main character really that doesn't know about his powers, Clark Kent, is Kyle. What do you think about that?
To be honest, I don't care, and I think they separated Cal and Lana so he doesn't know. And I also
Hmm.
think Cal maybe not part of season 3, but that's just a guess. Like the smartest move they could do is write off Cal because he's no more needed around. They divorced, and we don't really need him. I feel like he's
Hmm.
dead weight. And to be honest, the Cushing drama was my biggest issue after Ali being such a bad villain. The Cushing drama really bothered me so much. I was like, it feels like CW. I'm watching another show when I see Lana crying about lies to Cal, and then they divorce and stuff. I really didn't like that part of the season. I'm like, man, that's so many steps backward. It feels like CW, and it should not. Because even Stargirl in their second season didn't feel like CW. And now I'm scared for season 3 based on the trailer, you know? Anyway, we are not there yet. Season 3 is coming at the end of the month. Regardless, Superman and Lois season 2 is still very good. Despite my small issues, it's still very good. But
Hmm.
taking back, it's weaker than other Arrowverse shows because Ali was such a bad villain, and the supporting villain Jonathan from Bizarro World. What did you think about him?
Uh, wasn't the biggest fan.
That's funny because I enjoyed that Jonathan a lot, and he makes sense.
Really.
Yeah,
Honestly, the villains in this one I just thought was a step down from season one.
yeah, that's true. On that, that's true. I agree with that.
I mean, I didn't mind Jonathan. I just, I don't know. It was like, oh, it was okay, I guess.
Because the way he was raised, that's normally end up being a villain.
Yeah.
Because that Bizarro Superman is a jerk.
Hmm.
You can let people die just for fame, you know?
Yeah.
That
So I
Bizarro
mean,
world, man, I wish we spent more time there because that was a cool world. I liked it a
yeah. Well,
lot.
that definitely would have made it better in my opinion if they spent more time there. But I mean, what would you say was your favorite thing about this show?
In season 2,
Was it? Yeah.
I think that was Bizarro World and
That's what
the
I was about to say. Besides Bizarro World, because I knew that was probably your favorite.
beside that, I think Talro, they did such a great job with him. They
Hmm.
turned that
And they
character
kind
around.
of tease at the end that you would kind of be replacing Bizarro.
Yeah, and that's what I like the most. I think Talro was amazing, and sometimes when they reuse like old villain, they don't know what to do with them. Like I have Black Lightning in mind, Tobias. Well, the more we get him in Black Lightning, the less interesting he gets. Talro wasn't the case, or I will give another example from Supergirl because I did watch Supergirl for 6 years. Lex Luthor was great in the first season he was in, but then he turned out to be a joke in the last season he was in. So sometimes, like when they reuse villain, I'm like, really? Can we move on to another villain? Or I will give another example: Agents of Shield. I feel like Hydra is the only villain they have in mind. I'm like, I'm fed up. I want something else. I'm done with Hydra. It's just pointless, you know. Even if Hydra is on their face, it's the same kind of stuff. Oh, we will change the world. Oh, the actual world we are in right now is not great. So I'm like, it's so cliche. I mean, and what they did with Talro, well, Talro went into a redemption arc. So he didn't feel overused because he has actual story. He moved. He has growth. That's good. That's what I want.
And I'm trying to. God, I forgot one thing I was gonna ask. Shit. Anyway. What did you think about the? Here's the thing. Now, I know you said before you don't care about CGI, but it's whatever. I mean, that's fine. I'm just wondering though if you did you think though just unless you paid like no attention to it, did you? Even though you don't care about it, did you think like the CGI and stuff was a step down from the first season?
I think
Because there
it's
were like
roughly the same for me.
oh, because for some reason there were a lot of moments, especially when he was like flying, like above the planet that looked pretty blurry.
Oh, actually, I agree on that. When they were in space, man, that bothered me. Each scene in
Yeah,
space bothered
it
me.
was on like 240p.
I didn't like these scenes in space. I agree with that. I think season two did the action better. The action was much better, I think, and that was cool. The overall season is not as good as I said, but the action for me was better. What did you think of the action, like the fight between Bizarro, Superman, and
I would
the
say it's
General?
better in this one. Yeah, even though I really like the one, the climax at the end of season one. I would say I liked it.
Yeah, the climax is
I
so
like
hard to beat, man. The
yeah,
climax is
I
great.
like the climax more in season one
Me
from
too.
on that standpoint. Although I did like what they set up for season three more in season two, yeah, I did like. But the action overall, though, in season two, I would say was better overall. I would
Yeah,
say, but that's because I don't think season one was leaning more towards that. Honestly, I think they were mainly setting up other things as well. So, and then I think this focused a bit more on the action choreography and stuff like that. Now, after setting some things up from season one, so yeah, I did see an improvement there. I really enjoyed it, and I'll just like Stargirl. Honestly, I would say both of these seasons are just the same, but in different ways.
yeah. I think the general brought really something interesting about this Superman, because usually we
Hmm.
associate Superman to Metropolis. He's the superhero of Metropolis, or he is the superhero of Smallville. But this new villain with the general, you realize Superman is for the world. He is saving Russia. He is saving the Japanese. He is saving American. He is saving everyone. He is for everyone, and that's the thing I like the most. I think that aspect was great, and it felt like some kind of jab at Trump and his perfect white people, but it wasn't too political for me because it made sense for Superman to be for the world and not just USA. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Just that gave me flashbacks of something I want to share with you. 1 second. Let me just find it. It's somewhere right here. How you mentioned, saving all just gave me flashbacks of when this was a thing during World War II. I posted it there. Uh,
Say you can slap a Jap marbles and stamps.
yeah, this was during World War II, so
I like this one.
uh, yeah. So I mean, I'm glad that they're long past that now with them saving Japanese in this.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I also think like the Jordan had a lot of good stuff for him this season. What did you think of Jordan?
yeah, I really liked him in this season. Yeah, and definitely an improvement. Gave him more to do.
I think my favorite scene this season was the father and son flight just before Ali strip away
Hmm.
Superman powers. I liked so much that scene. It was endearing. You're like, Jordan learning how to fly and spending some quality time with his father. That was a great scene, and it left the same kind of impact as in season one when the hammer hit the girl that was about to kill Lois. That
Hmm.
was not the same kind of action, but that left the same kind of feel. You're like, wow, that's a great scene.
Yeah.
And the fact that they also took away Superman powers again, like they do that kind of trope in superhero media. That's also why I prefer Vigilante, because Vigilante, they don't really lose their powers. So I didn't like that like one or two episode where Superman was powerless, but it led to great moment like Superman being more of a symbol than what he is. Because he came here without powers and he told the truth to everyone and he said, "Look, I'm powerless, but I believe in you." That was that
Hmm.
was that was cool. Like, so I think they did right despite my issues with him being powerless again. Just still kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that scene where Talro is throwing him in the sun, I was like, that's kind of OP. I like it. Power up
Hmm.
Super Saiyan mode 10,000.
Yeah.
What would be the grade you would give to this second
Uh,
season?
a grade for the second season. Jesus, I would say a again, this seems low, but just again with my rating system, a 7 out of 10 is great. So I would give it that.
That's
I
kind of
wasn't,
cool because
and
we are
again,
not that far
I don't
apart.
like these. Yeah, again, I don't like these CW or like these grounded style shows, and as much as you. So a 7 out of 10 is really high. Like
Yeah.
this is probably my favorite, one of my favorites right now, over Green Arrow and stuff or whatever it was and stuff like that. This and Stargirl are definitely the ones I like the most.
I
I
gave
mean,
that
if we're not
season
counting like Doom Patrol and stuff, I don't know if like Doom Patrol counts in this kind of CW style verse.
not really because it's very different. Kingdom Patrol is
It's
more,
more HBO.
yeah. I gave 8.5 at that season, maybe 8.4, because I actually
Hmm.
think Agents of Shield second season was better for some reason. But yeah, I think Superman and Lois 8.5, 8.4. It's a step down because the first season I gave 9.4, 9.5. So it's a
Yeah.
step down. Taking away a full point for me, it's kind of big. You come from like masterpiece to like just good, or really really
Hmm.
good or great.
Yeah.
So, any final thought on Superman and Lois before we move on?
Uh,
Maybe we
no,
could
that's about it.
theorize about season 3. What do you expect from season 3?
Season 3. Uh, I don't really. I just hope again when it comes to it's usually season 3 that's kind of it's like the first two seasons and then it kind of drops off usually with these shows. I just hope that isn't the case. And honestly, even if they play it safe, I'm cool with that as long as it's good still. And I just let's hope this isn't like the. I mean, I could definitely see this being like the last season. Possibly, maybe. Let's hope it isn't. But I don't know if the way DC is doing things and stuff. I think this might be the last season of Superman and Lois, and then they'll kind of end it.
That's
Everything
very
was.
funny because I think some shows did escape that third season curse. Legends
Mm,
of Tomorrow third season was really good. Season 2 was the best, but season 3 was kind of good. Surprisingly and shocking enough, Supergirl third season is amazing. it's a masterpiece for me, but the rest of the
We
show is
see, I
kind of
haven't
bad.
really went up to that point with Supergirl, so.
I understand you because the first two seasons are terrible. It's among the worst of the worst. So I don't blame
Mm-hmm.
anybody if they didn't make it to season 3. I understand you. And that's funny because Black Lightning also had a really good third season. The third season of Black Lightning was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, so I'm worried about season 3 of Superman and Lois. Based on what I've heard, I think the showrunner was the one that said it. You want some more personal drama. I am like,
Mm.
don't you dare go near that. Please. Do something else. I do not want to see more of the Cushing shit. No. No, I don't.
Uh,
So I'm kind of worried about that. Outside of that, I hope it lasts for at least 5 seasons if it's good. But if it's
mm-hmm.
bad, man, stop at 3 or 4. I want
Yeah.
good TV, man.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so, what was the next topic again?
Lighthouse. The
Right.
Lighthouse. Just to make sure we
Yes.
speak about the same Lighthouse. It's a movie in black and white from 2019, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job. You didn't watch the wrong one.
Okay. I was like, okay, that's. He told me that was kind of recent, so that may be this one. I hope it's the one. So I watched the
Yeah.
right one. Perfect.
Yes.
I will
So,
let you go on for this one because
so listen, I understand if it isn't like everybody's type of film, but just like what I like about films personally, this is 100% my cup of tea. I really like these like dark utopian worlds, with a lot of great imagery, great cinematography, just unique ideas, just super well done and polished, like in in the olden days with like detail put into each scene and just letting like two amazing actors just go off. I loved this, in my opinion. It's just a masterpiece film. Again, firstly, the two performances, probably my favorite actors in Hollywood right now, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, probably my favorite of all time. So yeah, just watching those two on screen together was amazing, and they delivered. Definitely think they should have at least gotten nominees for their performances. I think Willem Dafoe, this is probably his best performance ever. Yeah, the cinematography was fucking just perfect. This is probably the best black and white cinematography, some of the best I've ever seen, in my opinion. Just the imagery and like everything. Fuck. Honestly, Mank won Oscar for it like a year later, and I honestly don't know how, and this didn't. But I mean, what did you think about it? I really want to know.
that was a really rough watch. Now, I respect black and white.
Really? You didn't like it?
I respect black and white because I know it costs more money to work around black and white, and it
When they
also.
used old cameras, there's a
Oh
great
really?
documentary that shows the making of this film. They used super old cameras that like kept breaking down on set to get that style.
So I will say this. That's funny because here in Quebec we have a lot of dubbed movie in French. So I think it's the first time I hear Willem Dafoe. Oh no, actually I think he was. Oh no, that was Kevin Conroy. Never mind. I think it's the first time I hear the true Willem Dafoe. I don't know if he took an accent or something, or if.
It was like an old accent they used.
Okay, that bothered me so much, and I think Willem Dafoe was clearly the worst of the two because I could understand most of Patterson lines, but sometimes I was like, "What the old man is saying? What the fuck?" And that happened
Did
a
you have to watch it
lot.
with like subtitles or something?
I was about thinking about searching with subtitle, but then I was like, I'm not a fan of the movie already. It's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, honestly,
It's not a
that
bad
was one
movie. I
issue.
know the value of it. I see the value in it, and I can see the enjoyment. I still found enjoyment in it.
No, but that's interesting. That's the fun thing about doing these because I love it. It's my cup of tea, but
It's not
it's
mine.
not yours. So see, it's interesting instead of just having an echo chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Though, like again, it was historically accurate the accents and voices they use, but is hard to understand if you're like not used to hearing those accents on screen before in films. So that's definitely was an issue with like general audience members and other people.
yeah. So I'm not crazy. That's good.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite part of this movie is the fact that it's a lot of unreliable narrator. You cannot really trust what you see. That was kind of cool. I
Mhm.
enjoyed a lot of that aspect, and the fact the whole message in it, like loneliness, what it can drive people to do,
Oh,
and
there's tons of messages in it, and that's another thing I love about this. There's like honestly up to 500 meanings and messages and like interpretations you can get out of this film, and like of what really happened and what the meaning of it is.
that's the
It's
charm of the
interesting.
movie.
Just yeah, it's like interesting to just like look up many reviews and hear their thoughts on it. Like it's just one of those art films that kind of is like that, where you can take any interpretation from it.
That's the best part of the movie, because I think the movie is very long, but the by the ending when you realize they're both crazy, it's kind of great. And
Yeah, and it's also hard, like like try to figure out who is who. Like they make it kind of like, is he really who he thinks? They make it so in like certain things, like some scenes that one character acts like the other, and they have the same first name, so
yeah,
it gives you like a like what is really going on here, and like who is the villain, if there even is one.
yeah, it's just a nut job. It's just crazy.
They both are.
And I think for a 2 hour movie with two characters, they did great job, and it was interesting because a lot of movie have a lot of character, and sometimes there's too many of them, but here it feels right. There's the right amount of characters, and the actors are selling well their job. Like I think they are both really good and very entertaining to see. My favorite scene are like outside of like the whole madness, descent to madness. I think my other scenes I liked a lot is when they are drunk. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, just
um,
watching them go crazy again, just love it. Just the
yeah,
craziness of it.
yeah, and then they say Patterson is a bad actor. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, this
Watch the
absolutely
Lighthouse,
proves the
please.
opposite. Yes, this and in Good Time and many others just proves the opposite. Really, yeah. Honestly, I would say this isn't even his best role. Like the film Good Time, I would say probably his best performance.
So yeah, I think that was a rough watch. That's my thing. Like the accent, I think that's the thing
Hmm.
that bothered me the most, and also the pacing. It felt very long. There's a lot of scene that felt very long. I feel like this movie could have ended in 1 hour and a half instead of 1 hour and 50, maybe a bit less. But that's just my feeling. Maybe it's because I wasn't enjoying at the fullest, and my favorite part was when they were both crazy at the end. They were trying to kill each other. That was kind of the best part of it. But
Yeah,
it was interesting to see all both are really villains. There's not one villain. There are two villains.
yeah,
And I also think the fact that they kept from us the top of the tower for the end was kind of cool.
hmm
And am I right? But Patterson character died by falling in the stairs.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, well, that I mean, again, that's the interpretation. There are many things like what actually happened. Like, another thing, it could have been like he was just crazy and imagining it the whole time. Maybe this entire film is just in his imagination, as the other character said at one point, or maybe he died another way during a fire. Someone was just on the rocks and imagining that for a bit. You know,
Or maybe
so it's funny
they
how
died because of the waves breaking into the
just
lighthouse.
many interpretations. Again, I also really like how this is literally just like a film with two actors. Like we don't really get that nowadays at all. Besides, like it reminds me of like those old fashioned films in like the 1930s and 40s, where it's mainly just two actors and playing off of each other. It's
Yeah.
great, and yeah, I love the crazy imagery and the visuals as well. Like even that the tentacle that with how it looked, it like very creepy. It also looked a bit fake, which was intentional. Like what? So was that really real?
Yeah. I think another issue I may have is the lack of music. There are sounds. There are sounds and the sounds are kinda cool, but there's no true music. And I was like, it missing something, man. I
I
want
mean, to
more
be fair
music.
though, they didn't really need the music. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm nitpicking for nitpicking, you know? Sometimes even a background music in some scene. Like when they are drunk or like more party time, they are on party when they freaking drink like
Yeah.
like there's no tomorrow. And another thing, like I did kinda expect one of them at least to die, so that was expected.
Yeah.
um yeah, so what would
The
be
film that could be about really is like sort of like kind of like the equivalent of like in real life a boss just taking advantage of its worker.
yeah,
Yeah, that's another message you could take from it or a metaphor. And
that's
it could
actually
be like,
true.
and then the light. What do you think was the mystery with the light? Some message there, like it was sucking the soul out of him, or others it was just like he realized it was really just nothing there, and then he just so he's just screaming, just like after all this,
I
just
think
going crazy.
my interpretation of it, he needed a key to open the door, and he's no more in the basement, and now he's on top of the world. So he's freed himself from that, like, old life or whatever, because he
Hmm.
opened a door, the key that leads him to the top. So I guess that's my interpretation of it. I'm like, so just before reaching the top, he dies.
Yeah,
Because he falls down the stairs. That's kind of
yeah, but
sad.
again, yeah, but like, what was really the light about? Oh, that's the question. But like, yeah, like at the top, that is, like,
Freedom, I
the
guess.
person who has the light, and is at the top, holds the higher authority and the power. Yes, but what was really like the mystery, the light, though, and everything that he saw throughout the film, like, is I mean, again, was there really just nothing? And then he realized that, and then he was just, going crazy, screaming, because yeah, what else are you gonna do after all this? Or was it like, oh, was he screaming and like, oh, a bit of pleasure, or was it like just sucking the soul out of him, like by the looks of it, in that last scene with the craziness? Like it's any interpretations you can take out of that, and this is what I love about the film. There's just every rewatch, there's like something new you can take out of it, and I love that about films that do that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's kind of sad MSK doesn't come right now. It could be interesting to
Well,
have him
he's
stay.
he's seen and he's reviewed the film, on
Oh,
his
that's
channel if you
good.
want to watch that.
I will go take a look at it. What would
Yeah.
be your grade to this movie?
As I said, a 10. I really love it. Again, just
Ooh,
even put inside like whether or not this is your type of film or not. The camera work
yeah,
is like perfect. The
I agree with that.
cinematography perfect. The acting, in my opinion, perfect. Like I understand the
I agree.
accents were hard to understand and stuff, but still, it was historically accurate and stuff. What film to film Robert Pattinson brought to the table was pretty fantastic. The writing, fantastic. Like there really wasn't like a single flaw I had about this. It was just, and and they also built the entire set on the island in Nova Scotia from the ground up, the lighthouse
That's kind
and
of cool.
everything. Yeah,
I think I'm leaning between a 6 and a 7 because it's not my cup of tea.
yeah,
The
that's
accent
cool.
hurts so much. the accent like wrecked me for many scenes, you know, and it feels long. It's not a movie
Hmm.
that is fast for me at least. So that's the thing. So I think 6.5 since I'm leaning in between. That's more accurate of me. Uh,
Hmm.
I recognize it's a well done movie. It's not because it's not well done. It's just it doesn't reach me. You know. I know I enjoyed the message. That's part of why it's above 6. You know, because for me, if you're underneath 6, you failed. So this movie didn't fail, but it didn't grab me enough. So I'm like,
Hmm.
it's the best thing I've seen. No, 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 no. And I think the actor did their job. Everyone involved did their job, and that was a well done movie. That was a, and I guess that was entertaining for the message of the movie. But 2 hour long was well, it's 1 hour 50, but it felt more like more.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that was something special to like take a look and see for the first time, but I don't really recommend it. But that's just me. As you said, for you it's a 10, so that's the charm of this podcast. We have different opinion, and I don't like echo
Yeah.
chamber, so that's perfect like that.
Yeah, it's never good when there's just an echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people with echo chamber, they just get lost in their ideas and they cannot really evolve
Hmm.
and they cannot really improve their content or improve
Yeah.
their point of view, and it's kind of sad.
Hmm.
So yeah, man. I heard they are shelving the Flash. It's no more a
Damn.
thing. It's no more a thing
Really,
after.
they're shelving it. I mean, I think what they're doing right now is, I think they're just weighing in on it right now. I think the release date for it is still, a thing. I think they're just temper. Again, I think it still might be released on the release date they set for it, like January, or whatever they set for it. I just think it's what do I say? I think they're just weighing in on the three choices they brought up. They've said they're right now thinking for like a few weeks about it of what they're gonna do with it, and there's three options. One, have Ezra Miller explain everything that happened and then say he'll get help and then do limited press tour. Two, just cut Ezra Miller out of it as a whole, no press tour, and so release it. Oh, three, just cut or just never don't release the film at all.
Cancel it. I think that's the
Again,
smartest
just
choice
I mean,
because
look, they can't with this high budget though. They have to like release it, in my opinion.
no, 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 no. Cut the loss already. You only spent half of your money, and no, no, that movie will bomb. I wish it to bomb if Israel is still in it. It's kind of sad to wish that, but that's what they deserve to keep that kind of nutcase, man. He's a
Yeah, I
nutcase.
mean, yeah, yeah, whatever. Yeah, definitely not a smart decision. They should have just,
And it's kind of
uh,
sad for the people involved, for real. Like, it's not their fault,
yeah.
but I mean, you're involved with a nutcase. I mean,
Hmm.
so that's all I really want them to like cancel and move on.
Hmm.
Black Adam in 2 months. It's coming soon. Are you excited about that or not really? Because it's DC and DC have that bad track record.
Uh, I don't know. I'm all excited for it. I like the Black Adam character, but I don't like Dwayne Johnson. It just feels like another one of his films. I wasn't a huge fan of the trailer. Just it doesn't feel like Black Adam, and I don't know. It's just I heard the reception for it, and you know from the people who saw it early say it's mixed. I might go and see it just because it feels like some of that might just be watchable at least, entertaining enough, maybe even if it's like mediocre or whatnot, which I think it will be possibly, sort of like a Bullet Train, where and I didn't think it was great, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't have much hype for it at all. I
Are you
do have hype
excited
for.
about She-Hulk? She-Hulk is coming next
Oh,
week.
fuck me. Well, what I do have excitement for is even though the trailer didn't look great, Shazam 2, just because I loved the first Shazam. So
I liked it a lot. I think that was my favorite DC movie.
that's my favorite, probably honestly. Besides out of the DCU films, besides I mean, I'd actually say it's better than the Suicide Squad. The more that I think about it, with some of the bullshit in the Suicide Squad, even though I thought it was very good. Uh,
I think I haven't seen, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I think I will take a look eventually to it, but I had PTSD from the first one, you know. It was so bad. I'm like,
hmm
should I give it a shot? I know, man, it's dangerous, it's risky.
Oh, you mean yeah, PTSD from the first Suicide Squad?
2016.
Trust me, it's a ginormous improve. I don't know if it goes on the comedy aspect of it, so I don't know if if you like that,
I
would
like
like that
Bullet
about it. But
Train, and that was a comedy,
okay,
man.
on it is a giant improvement over it. Definitely watch it.
So I'll take a look at it. I'm curious. And
hmm
She-Hulk, what do you expect from that train wreck we will get?
Uh, listen, I don't know if like CGI they showed in that one trailer, they said it was unfinished, but the CGI they're still showing looks as bad.
I cannot wait to not laugh at that pretend to be a comedy. They pretend
Oh
it's a
god,
comedy. Did you laugh in the trailer? For real?
not once.
Same here. I was actually disgusted on the first trailer when they were mocking Tony Stark. Tony Stark freaking saved everyone and you dare to shit on him. Why not Tony
What did they
Stark?
say again about him?
Being a superhero is for a narcissist and billionaire or something like that. So I'm like,
Hmm,
really? Really? You
man.
dare to shit on your legacy character that actually launched your entire universe? That's Disney, man. That's Disney. Have you
Yep,
started watching
pretty much.
Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones. I start watching that.
I cannot wait
Not
to have a
not
discussion
yet. I
about
was
it
gonna
next
watch
week.
it. I was gonna watch it starting tomorrow.
That's good. I hope you will enjoy it. So far, I've rewatched 3 episodes. Dude, it's so hard for me to nitpick and find issues.
hmm
For real.
Hopefully, I'll feel the same way about it.
I hope as well. And, you know, the point of it is I want to compare, like, I have a video planned. That's why I watched She-Hulk and also for this podcast. But, you know, I know She-Hulk will be a disaster. And I
hmm
enjoyed Jessica Jones' first season. Season 2 and 3 are kind of bad, but season 1 is great. Based on what I remember, it's not a masterpiece, but I wasn't as invested as now. Because now I've seen so
hmm
much shit. I'm like, okay, that's great because we got so much bad stuff, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that feeling?
hmm
Like, here's the thing. I think Jessica Jones and Shield they both basically aimed at mostly the same target audience. But the difference, first of all, is the genre, and the second difference is the writing.
hmm
Jessica Jones is funny, and it's not trying to be a comedy. It's not listed as comedy, and it's funny. And they list She-Hulk
Yeah.
as comedy, and the trailer wasn't fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing people don't realize. There can be comedy in films that aren't comedy and just be done properly. It doesn't need like I don't get it. Like they focus on the comedy aspects too much just to try to have comedy, and it's like just
And it's
stop
not good
trying so
comedy.
hard. It's like tons of comedy in Goodfellas. Would you call that a comedy film?
I I don't know that movie.
You haven't seen Goodfellas?
Nope.
You need to see that. But
um,
yeah, it was listed as a crime drama. It's a mafia film by Martin Scorsese. It's a masterpiece in my opinion. and there's shitload of comedy in it, but it's not labeled as a comedy film.
And
So
they did better. I'm sure they did better
yeah,
than She-Hulk. She-Hulk, and I also, based on what I've seen from interviews and stuff about the writers making She-Hulk, they are like all in for the message, and they are really feminists, and they think that feminism is all about women better than men. It destroys the idea of feminism. It should be about equal stuff, you know? Well, that was what it used to be 50 years ago. Like,
I mean,
women wanted the
I don't know
same
if I
thing as
got that
men.
out of it. I mean, I'd have to like rewatch the trailer. I mean, I didn't quite get that out of it. I mean, it was definitely cringe and stuff, but like,
Trailer number
I
2,
mean,
she does it better than Hulk. So why Hulk is training her?
well, that is like She-Hulk though, isn't it? The character, like her form, she is supposed to be like more powerful than Hulk, isn't it?
I don't know about that in the comics, but even there, based on
thought
what I heard,
I'm pretty sure that is the case in the comics, and he's mainly just as a mentor, especially in his like old state because the MCU has just fucking mishandled Hulk so much. So even more, it makes sense because of that. Like, so that's why I would say it's not the case. Otherwise, I would agree with you.
yeah, I, maybe that's comic book accurate, but if it's the case, man, I really don't know what to feel. And I
Hmm.
will bring Jessica Jones without too many spoiler, but we have a character similar to Jessica Jones, a male counterpart, and
Hmm.
they never downplay him, they never trash him, and she is never show like to be the best of the best. They are different, but they have similar stuff. But I mean, they they don't tell she's better or worse. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And they don't
Yeah.
tell he's better or worse. They show them doing different stuff.
Well, maybe they will in the show. I don't know.
I think the writers of the Jessica Jones, they had good intention, and I think She-Hulk, they just want to trash on Legacy Hulk. But
I
here
mean,
again,
to be fair, it's not like they can trash on it any more than Kevin Feige and them already did. They have just ruined that character. It is so
man,
sad.
yeah. Uh, the linesmen, they are so cringe. I cannot wait for that train wreck. I cannot wait to do my freaking 3 hour video about these two shows put together, you know? One is good, one is bad. Anyway, any closing thoughts?
Oh, I just did add one. I wanted to get your reaction on something. I need to like find it though, I believe.
Find it. I'm curious.
Yeah, but until then though, you can talk a bit more about it because it's gonna take me a bit to look for it.
That's funny
Uh,
because I see MSK online, but probably is occupied doing something else.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ruin as well. I don't know what they're
Uh,
doing.
I don't know. I think they're.
They're not
I don't
caring.
know. You have to remember. I don't think they. I know Warren uses Discord a lot, but I don't know if he's on right. It sometimes
They're
says
agreeing.
somebody's on, but they're not really
Usually when
on
they're
right now.
agreeing.
But yeah, it does. But I mean, it could mean many things. Could mean just their computers on the background. Like maybe it's MSK's playing League of Legends. I don't know.
You're right. That may be the case. And only 2 weeks and we get Stargirl third season. I hope it will be done well.
2 weeks. Oh right. I forgot that was coming out. Yeah, that soon. I honestly it felt like at points like it was gonna take a while, but completely forgot it's
I hope
yeah.
this show
I
will
can
last for at least 5 seasons. That's my wish. And I hope season
yeah,
3 will be
I
good.
hope too. I do too.
So,
I
do you know
mean,
when?
did you have any help? Oh,
Huh?
sorry, continue. Oh,
Do
sorry, continue.
Do you know when the spin-off of The Boys will be out?
No, I think at earliest 2023, but there's no exact thing for it yet.
What were you about to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask what your expectations were for Stargirl.
My expectation are be as good as season 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
My other expectation, I don't want him. I don't want them to go on the lazy trope of the lie that break relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this shit. My other expectation, I really hope the murder mystery is kind of cool, and I don't want to expect who did it. Like that could be interesting plot twist stuff and good writing. That's what I want. Good writing. I want to be entertained as well, and um, I really hope Starman dies for good this time around. I don't know why, but I feel like he's not really needed. Maybe he's needed a bit to mentor like Stargirl and stuff because he clearly knows more stuff because he was Starman for longer than Stargirl. So I think it's a good idea to keep him around to mentor and stuff. But what if she lose Starman, the guy that she thought that was her father or something in season 1, if you remember? That could be interesting. And I don't want Bet.
I mean, it could be, yeah.
I don't want Bet because the best they did with her was in season 2, and I don't see that character going any further. That's sad to say, but that was the peak of her
Mm-hmm.
character. Move on to
S-
someone else.
yes. Okay. So I don't know why it took so long to find it, but I did. You might have already seen it. I think you did, but I just wanted to pull this up again. What is your reaction to this? Oh, if you haven't, I want
Oh, I need to read it. You know,
just
in
read
terms
it.
of the CGI being critique, I do think that has to do with our culture belief in their ownership of women bodies. I think a lot of the critique come from feeling like they are able to tear apart CGI women. There's a lot of talk about her body type. Are you kidding me? And you know we based her a lot on the Olympian athlete and not bodybuilder. But I think if we'd gone the other way, we would be facing the same critique.
What did
Oh,
I just read? That
dude.
that, that is a response to the CGI being bad in the trailers.
So do you see
And,
what I mean by these crazy women think women are better than men? Oh my.
well, this is just a brain dead take, right? It's just like what the
These are
fuck
the
did I
writer
read?
of this show. They are brain dead.
Is this the director?
I
Jesus.
don't care. They're probably all on the same level of brain dead.
Yeah, like the director literally made the film. This is the director. Oh, sorry, the show. But Jesus fuck, literally the person who made the show saying this.
They didn't even pick a actress that was bodybuilder or whatever. She didn't add any muscle. I mean, the actress, I got nothing against her, but you speak
You know,
about
so.
like shape and stuff. Pick someone that has a
Hmm.
shape, you know?
Yeah, it's like no, people are criticizing the CGI because it's fucking blurry and looks unfinished. What the fuck are you talking about, lady?
And I think they just direct this hatred towards CGI just to make us forget how bad the humor was. They want
Hmm.
us to grab on something. They want us like to think about something else. They don't want us to see how
Hmm.
bad this show is really is. Why not CG, man? Even with the best CG, this show is a train wreck.
Yep.
Man, that's why we will suffer together and we will cover it
Oh
for
boy.
content's sake. And I will clip some part of our podcast weekly. The best part of it, I will clip it and place it in my video with She-Hulk versus Jessica Jones because I think it will make great content.
Oh boy. Uh,
So let's be savage together and tear this crap apart. I cannot wait to
Yeah.
see other people reviews. I'm more excited about the people reviews than the show itself. Aren't you excited for the reviews?
Yeah, I'm excited for the reviews. You never know. I mean, even though the show really wasn't good, and I mean, Miss Marvel was I mean, until the final two episodes, which were just a disaster, and made the show mediocre. But then again, mediocre is still. People thought that show would be completely terrible. You know, it was at least watchable, and
Yeah, I
up
was
in,
included in that people.
and besides the last four episodes, sorry, the last two episodes, it was actually solid. I would say for the most part. So you never know, and that had garbage. It had garbage trailers, garbage advertisement. All the choices they made was garbage. The creative choices. Same thing with She-Hulk. So you never know, I guess. But you know,
Nobody
it's just
reviewed Miss Marvel.
yeah,
Nobody did because nobody cared. That's
yeah.
sad. Look,
But yeah, you never know, I guess. But damn,
when a show is good, people tend to drive toward it, and some people tend to cover it. And when it's bad, it's the same thing. But when nobody speaks about something, something went wrong. Either it's just forgettable or nobody know about it.
yeah, I
That
suppose.
She-Hulk quote, man. These writers are
Mhm.
crazy. These director, these writer. The train wreck will be amazing. In the meantime, we got Stargirl that was great for 2 seasons so far.
Mhm.
And then they say, oh, Marvel better than DC. They both do shit when they want to.
Yep. uh,
Anyway, any final thoughts?
not really, honestly.
Thank you for coming with me again. That's amazing having you as co-host, and I cannot wait for the review next week. Man,
Yeah.
She-Hulk. And I heard it's 9 episodes, 30 minutes each. So at least the suffering is not 1 hour long.
Mhm.
But it's 9 episodes. So we will still suffer through it. I cannot wait. These review will
Yeah,
be
I
golden.
cannot wait. You know, for ironic reasons, for the memes. I cannot wait. Uh,
Man, if people don't wake up and realize it's on a decline, well, nothing will.
yeah, no. If fucking Eternals didn't, and if Love and Thunder didn't do it, then nothing will.
Anyway,
Oh, fuck.
I hope guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff. We will cover She-Hulk next week, obviously, and it will be amazing. Have a great day, everyone.